This is what Allah bless us to understand. Even with that, that's what life is, ups and downs, hills and valleys.
Yes.
And that's what's so deep about our prayers. We start up here, and then you come in here, and you bow in here, and you hear it. You're going back down, you turn it to the left, you turn it to the right, you're getting back up. Allah is showing you in those positions how life is ups and downs, but whatever position you're in, you're calling on Him. And you don't move until you say Allah is bigger, greater, more important, more significant. That's what's so heavy about it. It's not just the prayers. It's not just you being with the whole entire world, and you don't know who's going to walk up beside you. It ain't about, it's all of that, but it's really tying into Allah is bigger, greater, more important, that you're putting Allah first, and nothing is before Allah. And that's what's so deep about this piece. It's so deep that when you really understand. Me and Shahid was talking about even like the washing of the bodies. Washing of the bodies, and he said after this body here, it really shook him because we had just did Brother Art's body. And then less than 5 days, here it is, here's another body. Same way when we wash your son's body.
Right.
The washing of the body, those bodies is different because it makes you understand what life is about. It makes you really treasure life more. Sometimes we really don't treasure, and then we trip on, you might say, well, man, you 60-something, so you getting close to that. No, it don't make no difference what your age is. Age don't have nothing to do with it, and then what it does, it makes you more conscious, and then every time you hear something, you hear responsible. That's what most people, Brother Jab used to scare me with that. I would love hearing him teach, but boy, when he started hitting on certain things, I would say,
pretty heavy.
Jab was no joke. He absolutely was no joke. Everybody phones don't vibrate, right? It is? Okay, sounds good. Remember, it's Saturday morning. Sister Secretary going to open up talking about Saturday morning and everything. But that's how we're going to rock and roll.
Give me 1 second, Boeski.
All right.
Hey, Gressa. Ask your mother to text me and how much I need to cash out, so I know how much you need to eat.
Not like them grandkids.
Your mother tired? Okay. Okay, give Granny 15 minutes and I'll call you right back, okay? Give about 15, 20 minutes, grandson, and I'll take care of it. Okay, babe. Bye.
Ain't nothing like them grandchildren.
I know, right?
One thing
He
about
texts me
it,
tomorrow, can you give me something to eat? I'm
you
like,
can't-
yeah, I'm
you
cash
can't-
app.
you can't-
He called right away. I ain't got no cash app.
wait. I don't know how you going to do it, but make it happen.
7. My mama tired.
So this first segment going to be 12 minutes.
Sister Secretary, you're going to open up for us.
And I'm going to toss it straight to you.
Okay. Well, you're going to give him okay, how will you do it? But I'm going to talk right back because you was going to say something about the pandemic, I thought, But
When
how
I
will you
toss
do
it to
it?
you, do an introduction of who we have.
Okay.
You know how we do it, back and forth.
Yeah, and the music going to be playing on the radio, so
Okay.
that break every chain, so you can bring it in as if it's already on, okay?
Okay, excellent.
Okay, so we start in 5, 4,
Tell them like get close.
3,
Yeah.
2, 1.
Welcome back. Welcome to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show. Go ahead and tag a friend and bring them in, guys. We here breaking chains in the studio. Today I got with me boots on the ground, none other than Brother Anthony Shahid in the building.
Don't try to throw it to me like that. For you ain't saying nothing about good morning. You saying welcome
good
back. You
morning,
ain't saying good
St.
morning.
Louis.
Why are you playing it like
Good
that?
morning, St. Louis.
Hold up. My bad.
Excellent.
Computer froze up.
Tape
We
2.
get to start over.
Okay.
She said she gets to start over.
Yeah, my bad. That was my bad. Computer froze up.
It's all good. It's all good.
We got to get external hard drive.
I never do it the same way twice, so whatever we do, we bring it in.
Okay. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right. Good morning, St. Louis. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show. Tag a friend and bring them in. Tag a friend and bring them in. I have here this morning, we have Brother Anthony Shahid, boots on the ground, Brother Anthony Shahid.
Good morning, my sister. Thank you so much. And you done changed it up because you used to say tag 10 friends. So what are we doing now? We done switched it around? Is it tag 10 friends and bring them in, or is it just tag from Timmy? How we doing it? So I don't know how we doing
We
this
just
morning.
getting started, Brother Shahid. We're going to ease him in here real slow.
Okay.
Second segment, we'll hit him with 10 people.
Okay, well, that sounds good. My brothers and sisters, first of all, good morning. I want to thank you this morning for listening. But as she say, tag a friend, bring him in this morning. It's going to be a good, hot show. We got a lot going on, but I want to give shouts out or kudos, or however they say that, to Mayor Bosley, because he's on special assignment.
Yes.
And when I say special assignment, he's assigned to something very special. But I pray a lot that we, in his absence, can do what he does, because he's really irreplaceable. We're so thankful to Allah that he gives us the opportunity, that when he's on assignment like that, that he gives us the opportunity to come on and do what we need to do.
Yes.
I want to say something this morning, too, about, every week we're pushing the mass, something with a black business or whatnot. And I have my Tahi Youth Group mask on this morning. So it's TYG, been around for a long time, and I said, well, I'm pushing everybody else, why not push the Tahi Youth Group? We've been in business now 30, 35 years, and we've touched brothers and sisters in Hogan Street and Annie Malone's and Tandy Community Center, every school in the city of St. Louis, public school, grade schools, middle schools, jails. We've been all the streets, in a street that we haven't been in. So, I thought we'd give a shout out to the Thai Youth Group, Brother Sultan Muhammad, my executive director, and the whole entire staff of the Thai Youth Group. I want to give a shout out to them. I also want to say something about our senator. You know how she acts. You talking about but you ain't said nothing about her. All the way with Senator Carla May. I know she's listening. So right now, Senator, we give our love, respect. And we ready, whatever. She might pop in there this morning. I don't know what she's going to do. But then who else we got behind there handling business, sister? You going to cover our engineer?
Absolutely.
When you ain't said nothing about you trying.
Boeski.
Okay, Brother Bombay, thank you so much for being everything that's happening. The ones and twos, this Mary Bosley says, because he's doing it. And I'm going to tell you why I always be nice to them. You be think you talking, and you won't even be talking, because they control the mic. And next thing you know, you be thinking you talking, they have the volume down, and you think it's up. And next thing you know, you'll say, wow, what happened to that segment? What happened? You didn't mention them. That's what happened to them.
And I just want to say, too, guys, head on over to Facebook and be sure to like our page. First of all, I want you to see the cool background that we have on the show. Untouchable.
Yes.
For an all-star cast. So make sure you head over to Facebook, to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show Facebook page, and like that page. And also go to YouTube and subscribe to our page. And this is where we'll tell you, tag a friend, tag 10 friends.
Okay, that's what I want to hear.
And we also want you, because Brother Shahid mentioned Tahi Youth Group. Well, guess what? They have a Facebook page too. So head on over to Facebook, to the Tahi Youth Group Facebook page, and make sure you like that page, tag it, follow, share it, and then stop by Brother Anthony Shahid, where he go live. He's real serious. He got some things going on in life. I want you all to make sure that you follow the Brother Shahid page, and keep it online.
Inshallah. We always say inshallah. Yes. If it please Allah, my brothers and sisters, whatever you do. And I had to think about what was I going to do in Mayor Bosley's absence. How could we make this show just as hot? Because when he's here, it's just hot. But he brings the energy into the room. Mm-hmm. And Allah blessed me to come up with two brothers that I'm just waiting to hear from. Both of them are giants in their right. Yes. They're not no gentle giants. They're giants, Yes. And I'm thankful. So, Sister Secretary, can you help introduce them to me for me? I mean, that's what you hear. You are I'm not your secretary, am I?
Well, we have Brother Ajuma Muhammad with us this morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And we also have Chief Shireff with us.
Good morning. Good morning.
So, guys, it's going to be a hot show. I say this every Saturday morning. Get your pens, get your paper. If you're taking electronic notes, go ahead, because what you want to do is get this knowledge written down so you can go back and reflect on it. We don't want it to just go in one ear and out the other. We want you to be able to take this knowledge and utilize it and share it with someone else. So be sure to tag 10 friends and bring them in, because this is a hot show this morning.
It's going to be hot. It's going to be extremely hot, because you have two giants, as I said, in their own right. And the beautiful thing about this kind of program, I don't need any notes. They my notes. I can just look at them and start thinking about the years and years and years of the work they've did in the community. And if I start with Brother Juma, not only is he an author of 2 or 3 books, and not only is he a social scientist, I'm going to say social scientist, not only is he a doctor, not only is he a psychiatrist, but he's a brother, he's a father, he's a husband, and he's a power broker in the community over the years, And I don't think it's a college in the United States of America the brother Ajuma hasn't been a part of, that he hasn't spoken. He's one of the most sought after speakers it is in the world. Brother Ajuma travels around the world more than most people travel around from St. Louis to East St. Louis. I'm talking about every place from Zimbabwe, every place from Ghana, everything from Israel. I'm talking about 2 and 3 weeks in Israel, not just you flew over there. You know, a lot of people could say they flew this place and flew that place, but I'm talking about places like that in China. You know, I mean, he can go over the list of probably 20, 35 places he's been. I'm talking about, guess flying as long as, 15, 16, 17? What's the longest you ever flew, Brother Ajuma?
Probably 23, 24 hours.
That's a whole day then, ain't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. With the layovers and all of that.
Oh, wait, that's a lot of traveling. And then the brother to my immediate right, Chief Shireff, he has a very, very powerful history with the police departments because he's been in law enforcement. But for a long time, you would thought he was he's in law enforcement, but he was with the black community so much. That's one of the main reasons they had problems when they said, look, you're supposed to be a police officer. You can't be around here talking about what's happening to black people. We know what's happening to black people because we putting it on them like that. And Allah bless him to go from what we refer to in Islam from dust to industry, because he went from a ranking police officer coming into the ranks. I believe he came in the ranks with Chief Hayden, the president chief. Am I right?
Yes, we were in the academy together.
You know, and from there, Allah bless him. He is the chief of police on Norwood, and he's one of the ones that now bringing black chiefs together. He was one of the first ones that I knew that was in the Ethical Society or president of the Ethical Society. He was the first one to introduce us to the National Black Police Department with Brother Ron
Hamilton.
Brother Ron Hampton. I mean, these some powerful black men. They were brothers. They were police officers. But when I tell you, I've never in my life seen nothing like this 30 years ago. Brothers who fought for black people on this level. You know, and they were the reason that the brother Eddie Simmons and the sister Lieutenant Cheryl Orange and the sister Sergeant Heather Teller, all of them came after them because they were the ones. And Islam says, "Blessed is he who forges the way to bring the way for others." So I'm gonna stop talking because I talk too long. And what I don't want to do, I got checked one other time. But if you got guests on, you don't give them a chance to talk. So I know we got break coming up, maybe another 3 minutes or so, but I don't care who wants to just kind of jump in and you can kind of talk about what you're going to talk about, Brother Ajuma, when we come back for the second segment. And then Brother Shireff, maybe you'll take a minute to talk about what you want to talk about. So can I pass over to you, Brother Ajuma, please?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Greetings, salutation to the guests.
This morning.
Right, absolutely. All praise is due to Allah. I pray that God would bless me in a few moments that I have here to hopefully say something that will inspire and motivate the community. I want to talk about black on black accountability. We as black men, some of the things that we absolutely have to do if we want to save and salvage our community. So I want to talk about it from a mental health point of view and perspective. And I believe that all hands are on deck. I don't care if you're a man, woman, or child. Each one of us have something that we can do to further the interest of our community and save our young people. And it's absolutely vital and necessary that we all collectively get involved if we want to survive and thrive. So I have a lot of statistics that I want to share, and I will share them when we come back from the break, but I'm honored to be here and say a few words.
Thank you, Brother Ajuma. Can I flip it to Brother Shireff? We got about 3 more minutes. So if you take a good minute and a half and just kind of...
Okay. Peace and mourning. I can't say it's good until our people are free, so it's going to be a long time before I say good morning. But I'm thankful to Almighty God, Allah, that I'm here today and expressing the concern that we have for that mental illness. And that piece goes with Dr. Ajuma and what he was explaining, because it trickles down to the police department and the illness that some of the officers even have from day-to-day activity and dealing with domestic and mental illness. But there's also another side with young brothers and sisters and middle-aged brothers and sisters and even our elders that are mentally ill and destroying our community through lack of knowledge of self. So I think we have to touch down on that and bring about change through law enforcement by teaching them who they are and what they have to do to be prosperous and successful, and call on the ancestors and God like they should, and not be slaves to the television and other things that promote hatred and lack of knowledge of self.
Boy, y'all hitting hard this morning. It's going to be an easy show because I go just sit here and play like I know what I'm doing and don't have to do nothing, you know. But Shireff, I want to ask you a question real quick in this last minute that we have before we go on break. Do they still have the chiefs of police meetings? I know once a month they used to have where all the chiefs of police used to meet. Do they still do that?
Yes, they have the Missouri State Police Chiefs Association. They have SLAPCA. That's the North County Police Chiefs Association. And it is mind-baffling to sit among over 100 police officers who are white and maybe a trickle of us who are black. And they determine our destiny in our community, and we have no say-so. But I think we need to look at change in that aspect.
Okay. Well, we're going to come back because I think we got 30 seconds. So I know the secretary is going to close it down. She closed it down right. So ain't no sense us trying to do something. All three of us together don't make up one of her.
I'm just going to say, guys, please make sure that you tune back in for the second segment. You can see we have a great lineup. And you've been listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show. KTZ 1600.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Keep it on lock.
Keep it on lock.
Stop playing.
Stop playing.
So, brothers and sisters, thank y'all. This is our first break. It'll take a minute just to get ready for the second break. So we're still live. So either one of y'all can kind of chime in, even though when we come back, whatever we talk about, make a little notes of it so you can
And
come
don't
up.
forget to shout out to some black businesses in between.
Yes, sir. Okay, so we can do that now, too. If you got a black business, I'm always going to be ready to do one. But if you got a black business right there in Northwoods, is there anybody you'd like to push in Northwood, a black business?
There are plenty of black businesses in, and I would like to push Youth Bill, an organization to deal with our youth as far as cultural diversity, as far as dealing with our community and hands-on training and knowledge of self. And it's a beautiful concept. And those young guys are learning how to do plumbing and other things, just
powerful.
like Mo can.
Yeah.
And they graduated, and let me tell you, they're doing an outstanding job. And I go in there and talk. There's a barbecue establishment in Northwoods as well. And we got a few things going on in Northwoods, and we're going to start changing some things, too, because we're going to use that plaza to be part of our growth and development.
Okay, so you say Youth Bill. Where are they? They're in the plaza. So what plaza are you talking about? So if anybody just
North
listening-
Oaks Plaza.
Okay, North Oaks
Plaza, yes.
Okay, so is there a certain day there? Is it
They're there Monday through Friday, 8 to 5.
okay from 8 to 5?
And
Okay.
you'll see 10 to 15 kids going to class and learning hands-on training, and that's the number one thing that is I like, because they're able to use their mind and their hands.
Okay, that's
and use
powerful.
their skills to build and rebuild things. So it's a good concept.
powerful. And then Bill's Shoe Repair is right in there.
Yes, sir. I love that brother.
Yeah.
I make sure I go there every day to talk to that brother. He doing those shoes and making them look good, and at the same time you can get you a whole mouthful of knowledge.
Oh yeah, and Brother Jimmy, you know why I learned about shoes? It was in Ghana. Brother told me over there because I was saying, well, I just wore these old shoes here, so if something happened, I didn't care if I lost them or not. Just that another, on the plane ride over. He was saying nothing wrong with those shoes. I said, yeah, but the heel is going over. Just another. He said in Africa they never throw shoes away. All they do is just repair. That's what you have a shoe repairman for. That's what his job is, to repair shoes. Just like you have a painter. Just like you have an electrician. Don't make no sense to have a dark house when you got an electrician. Make no sense to have something stopped up as far as plumbing when you got a plumber. And I never had looked at it like that. And he said, with 7 billion people on the planet, everybody I know and everybody I think I know, if I could teach everybody in the world how to do this for the next our life and their life and their grandkids, like we still wouldn't be able to do just one pair of all those shoes. And I started looking at shoes totally different. And then when I met this brother, it was him and a brother that used to be at Yellow Ball, right on Natural Bridge in Newstead. He was a grandmaster. So, Brother Joe, do you have a black business you'd like to give a shout out to before I start on?
Wow. Our brother Rodney Scales over on Kings Highway, Natural Bridge. Brother's been around for over 20, 25 years, has a wonderful establishment. I encourage anyone who need gas or would like snacks and so on and so forth to go by and visit his place. But has a very reputable place, a very safe place, and definitely would like the community to support that one.
And that's Kings Highway and Natural Bridge, dead on the corner. It's a BP service station, and guess what? His ice is cold and everybody else's ice.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, his gasoline is cold. Well, I don't know if your gas is supposed to be cold, but whatever it is, it's better than everybody else's gas.
It's very nice, very safe.
He also has a Jiffy Loop right across the street from there on Northwood, dead on the corner of Northwood and Natural Bridge, directly across the street, or right, to give you a geographical location even closer, it's a Burger King, right by the Burger King, right across from there. But I was able to get my oil changed, but I also went and got my tires rotated. You know, that's a good thing to do too, brothers. Always get your tires and stuff rotated. Since we pushing, let's push, rise and shine. Look neat by the feet.
When you hit the street.
And that's his saying too. You look down, and Mary Bobby's so serious about it. He be doing his shoes like this. He be looking, and when he get down, he don't want to step on nothing. Because they be playing, they be clowning him. I mean, these boys is bad. People don't understand how deep shining shoes is and the history of shining shoes and how much money it is. Like I said, think of no different from putting taps on them, no different from putting shoestrings in them, no different from shining the shoes. If you couldn't even shine every shoe it is just in the city of St. Louis, listen, only on the whole globe. You know, and if somebody bring in 2 or 3 pair of shoes and, you know, they put wax on there, or sometimes they strip them all the way down and take all the wax that you done had over the years. I've seen them do that too. You know, not just with the alcohol piece, but they got a special brush that they sit and take everything off that you might have did for 2 years, and then take the time and shine that shoe. And it might take a half an hour. Hey man, when you get through with that shoe, it look like it's brand new. Plus they put taps on now.
That's one of the things that made our community so self-sufficient, is that we had that skill set. We knew how to shine shoes. We knew how to put taps on shoes. We knew we made our own clothes. You know, seamstress was a big thing in our community. I remember my mother used to crochet a lot.
Yes,
used to make clothes and stuff like that, and just so many wonderful things that we used to do that we've gotten away from, and we need to revisit. Our young people need to have skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to
do
definitely push that. We definitely have to push that. And I tell you what, even when you went to the shoe shine parlors or the barber shop, you got some history too.
That's where you was going to get it.
You always got some history from them, because they always had something to tell you and a story to tell you, and you respected what they had to say. And they will leave a word or plant that seed in your mind that you'll never forget it. You know, it was the beauty of what we had and what we still can get back if we learn to love self and learn knowledge of self.
Wait, so you don't went from, so you just about like a pastor and a minister and a chief of police, ain't you?
Yeah, I said, now see, you went from preaching to meddling now.
Well, I ain't trying to get locked up, because I do know you are the police.
Well, you know, I've learned it from those giants that come from the Tahi youth group. I've learned it from so many people out here. That's why I cling on to the elders.
Okay.
You know.
So brothers and sisters, we back on. We're going to come back on.
Go back to 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right. Welcome back. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show. Tag a friend and bring them in. Tag 10 friends and bring them in.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I'm always thankful when Sister Secretary is here, because it sends a different signal. And Brother Boeski was saying it earlier. And really, everybody was saying, I'm not going to just say it him, but everybody was saying, you know, when you get that sister's voice, and, you know, brothers here, it means something, but, you know, they bring a different flavor to the table. So thank Allah for them this morning. You got time now, tell somebody, hey, tell them to turn on the station.
Yes.
Tag it, like it, share it. How you say it? Like
it, share it, follow it.
And follow it.
Tag it, share it, follow it.
Whichever way you do it, or just tell somebody to turn on the radio show right now that they on there, that you got Brother Ajuma Muhammad, who's in his own self a giant, and also the chief of police for Northwoods here. So what I want to do is, because they was talking so many things while we was off the air, but again, both of them had some things that they were going to say, and they kind of prelude to it just before we went on our first break. So I'm not sure who would like to start first talking.
Let me jump in, and then we'll bring in the chief. Brothers and sisters, one of the things that I really want to talk about.
And thank you for coming into the studio this morning.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you for both of y'all for coming this morning.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I want to talk about the senseless murders that take place all over the country, and particularly in St. Louis, where we're from right now. St. Louis in 2021, we're in 2022 right now. St. Louis in 2021 had 195 murders. Wow. Now, they were down 25 murders from the year before. However, imagine if your family was in that number, that 195 number. And imagine the residual effect that comes along with, a member of your family being victimized and murdered, senselessly murdered over next to nothing. And then we have this thing in our community called snitching, that we don't want to report the findings of what we see, but yet we want to live in a safe community. So, I represent the clinical point of view and perspective. There's a term called cognitive dissonance. Have you ever heard of that, Brother Shahid?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I've been around you. I mean, come on now.
Let me just break that down and how it ties into senseless murders and the critical need for the black community, particularly men, to be more accountable. The technical definition is cognitive dissonance causes feelings of unease and tension, and people attempt to relieve this discomfort in different ways. An example of that includes explaining things away or rejecting new information that conflicts with their existing belief. So what I'm trying to say is that if snitching is a bad thing in the community, how can we stop or reduce the level of crime if nobody steps up to the plate to say something? And at some point, you may become victimized by a perpetrator, someone in the community that may decide to assault you or to commit a homicide against you. So that's what they call a cognitive dissonance, that your actions don't align with your rhetoric or your belief system. You want a safe community, but you won't do anything to create a safe community for yourself. So that's a form of mental illness. Your actions do not align with your core belief.
What you say?
You see? So, in preparation for some of the show, Brother Shahid, one of the things that I came across that absolutely blew me away, the 20 cities in the United States, cities with the most murders. The city that we're in, Louis, is 69.4. Okay, and these murder rates are based upon 100,000 people.
Wow.
So St. Louis is number 1, Baltimore number 2, New Orleans 3, Detroit 4, Cleveland 5, Vegas 6, Kansas City 7, Memphis 8, Newark number 9, Chicago, which is right next door to us, is number 10. Okay, Cincinnati, Philadelphia, Milwaukee, Tulsa, and so on and so forth. But the city that we're in, which represents about 300,000 people, 69%, we're number 1.
Damn.
Number 1.
That's messed up.
Chief, that's what we're looking at, the city with the most murders. Also, too, and I'll flip it to the chief, St. Louis, the city that we're in, St. Louis had 2,082 violent crimes.
Say it again.
So we're not talking about murders.
Say it again.
2,082 violent crimes. So St. Louis is number 1, Detroit 2, Baltimore 3, Memphis 4, Little Rock 5, Milwaukee 6, so on and so forth. So St. Louis, we got a problem. We got a real problem. We got a problem with 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 black men being killed by another black man.
Wow.
That's a problem.
That's a problem.
In the clinical world that I operate in, probably 70% of the young brothers don't even know who their father is.
Damn.
Or have never met their father. And so how can we expect for them to be a role model or to be a man when their father abandoned them or father was murdered or killed by another black man? So my thing is, the community gets enraged and outraged when a white officer shoot down a black citizen. And we should be outraged.
We should, yeah.
We should be outraged because we pay the police to protect and serve. So they're not supposed to hunt us down. But what are we doing about black on black homicide, senseless murders, and crimes? So at some point, we have to learn how to become accountable
Yes.
and stop blaming everybody. Now, it's blame to go around. But what about our role in this? You see, we got a real problem. Chief, help me out. Talk to me.
Real quick. I got a microphone over here too, so how can you expect for black people to report crimes when they're afraid of the laws or the system that's locking people up? Because there's been times when I got hit in the face by somebody and I called, I could be downtown on Washington Avenue and I called 911, and when they get there, the first thing that they do is they trying to arrest me. They not even trying to ask questions or, you know what I'm saying? So how can you expect for people not, to be afraid to snitch when at the end of the day, you never know how it could, how the outcome may be. You know what I'm saying? Especially if there's so much, like we already know, like the police. I mean, because we had this talk earlier, but the government or the laws aren't made for us. So it's kind of one of those things like. It's not really parallel to what's going on. So why would we call them? You know what I'm saying? Like, why not just to, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, just like we're going backwards by calling police when in reality, if we taking accountability, then shouldn't we be calling the LOCAP or shouldn't we be, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just seems like we need a better.
I think
it's a youth, because they were able to take charge and hold our community accountable. And we should do something. I'm gonna let Chief on it because this is his field. To be that track up, how we do that.
Chief, before you jump in, let me just throw something in the pot. Something to think about. This is why I'm challenging black men to step up to the plate. Churches on every corner. About the men in the churches. We got local civic organizations like Campus. We got the Qs. We got the Alphas. We got the Deltas. We have all the. We got the Nation of Islam. We got the Muslim groups. Okay, the police can do everything. So do we sit in silence? Do we just lay dormant and allow a crime to run rampant like it is now, and let the police do everything? So, we got work to do. Go ahead, Chief.
Well, one of the things that I see with our community and what's going on in law enforcement area is that we want to have responsibility for what we do. And the problem is it's all about me. It's all about what I think and not the other people. See, when I first mentioned love was all. But instead of thinking about the law and how the law should function accordingly, we just obey the law because the law works in the essence of your life, from the blinking of your eye to your thought process, to when you're going to get up in the morning to when your stomach tells you it's time to eat. That's on everything that you do. And when it comes to our community, instead of looking at it holistically, we look at it individually. And we become a narcissist and only think about ourselves or how things should go or how we think things should go. But we never look at the reality of who are we killing. It's mental illness. Why are we killing this person? Why do we get so angry with this brother? But 455 years of oppression, you don't get angry with them because you go and what they tell you to do. You respect their law when you're in their community, but you disrespect your law when you're in your own community. But yet we want to complain and say that, well, we can't trust this, but we can you don't trust yourself and you don't trust your mother enough to love and go kill them. That's your illness. If mother and your father and community within itself, you specialize in loving a community full of trash and disrespect. And when the elder walks down the street, you respect them. But you look for a law to help you, but you don't even respect the law of loving family and loving yourself. So that's an issue called mental illness within itself. So I think in order to change that perception, first of all, black men totally demoralized, totally trashed. When you go to work, he's trashed. When he comes home, because society has put the one ahead of him, now he feels as though he's not worth. If he comes on the statement that, hey, I make more money than you, I've been listening to the movement, and I can accuse you something that you didn't do. Now you don't have enough money because every time you go work, you got records, so they don't want to hire you. And when you try to do something on your own, you can get the finances to do it. Now you become mentally disturbed, and the music takes a hold of your body, causing the drums, the stimulation, waking your spirit up. Even when you wake up or when you die, when you get now the drum stimulates your sexual organ to make you hate yourself and to gyrate and disrespect you when women disrespect me. So that's mental illness.
As I listen to everything you're talking about, it's on point. You're talking about social actors that influence our behavior.
Yes.
And at some point, as black men, black people, we have to realize we're killing ourselves. At the end of the day, regardless of these social factors like this. So if we want to save the community, we have to create these organizations. I'm challenging. I'm not putting on the spot. The Capital Qs, the Alphas, all these different organizations. So I'm really big on mentoring, okay? Because 7% of black families have a home. Okay, but just because you as a man, just because you're not at home, doesn't mean that you can't be responsible for your children. Okay, you don't necessarily have to home. Ideally, better in the home, but if you're not in the home, or you're taking care of your children, if you're their role model, say your son or daughter, who's their role model, they say somebody other than mom and daddy, that's a problem.
Yes, it is. But one thing to see from that experience is beyond the man, the problems that he had with his woman, and even in my instance, back in the day when I first got married and didn't manage to work things out, she put it in the children's head to hate the other. Right. And now you're hearing the songs, my father, but my body didn't bother. You see, this is the emulation the black male young gets from that misconception of your father wasn't there, but when you only hear one side of the story, then you believe that because your mother's raising you. That brings a part in you. But the one thing that we're doing, you're right, I believe in working and mentoring, and that's what we got from Shahid Youth Group, is that I'm getting all the blacks together. I've been meeting with quite a few of them, the city, the county, and saying, listen, the Missouri Chief Police Association, there are over 100 people that sit in the room, and maybe 5 or 6 are select. And some of us are black-white because our mindset is their mindset. But we forget we have to take care of our community because our people trust us, brother. Our people look to us for answers when we go and call. And we're with a white officer, they don't go to the white officer. They looking for the brother to step up and stand in place of our community. And he has that mindset, I got to choose between the blue code. I'm down the black man on the opposite side. See that? But you're right, he ain't going to go tell me. He ain't going to tell what's happening because he has no hope in our people. Because he's going to say, we just like him. So we have to be balanced when we deal with our people in this uniform and realize, no one, I'm black first. Then all the other comes. And when we get our people, we have to deal with them with understanding. Because I see mentalness when I get there. But I don't know all that. He will kill me. I'll look at his posture and I look at what he says. I look at, he's drooling at the mouth for his time. First thing comes out of my mouth for all calls. When I see the guy, calm down, let you vent. And I say, man, you take medication? When's the last time you took your? I took 5 years. I know he's mentally ill. I know he has a problem. Now I deal with it on a whole nother level. You see what I'm saying? When they're down on the ground and you're upset and you got them handcuffed, let vent. That doesn't mean attack you. That means that vent. And sometimes vent is good because they didn't get out of the house, so they want to get out and want somebody to hear them. Let them vent. So this is what I'm bringing these black police and command rank together because I want them to let me see within solidarity. We got a county looking for a chief. We got a city looking for chief. I read an article some years ago when a sheriff from one of the counties way out, he said to his best friend, I'm going to be sheriff. When I become sheriff, I'm going to make sure to do the business sheriff. And my retirement after 4 years, move on up in that position. We don't think that as black officers in these positions because now you're looking at county and city. If we get a hold of this, somebody's going to get a hold of it for us. And we're going to be set back 20 years because now there's a city senator who did a good job with the chokehold, but it was at the end of the session. And when it's at the end of the session, everybody's ready to go home. And that's when the devil moves in and a bill called the Police Officer Rights. Now the Police Officer Bill of Rights set black people back 200 years because it says that you have to give a police officer due process, which means the police officer can no be suspended to go home. You got to give him due process. In other words, when you bring a charge on him, you got 24 hours in the turn. After the 24 hours, before you can question him, you got to only have 2 officers in the room to question him. And once you question him, the 2 officers, you have to give his attorney all the information, all the information I talked about. Now, they get back, and then 7 days before the hearing, the police department will give time to get their story together. So now they get their story together and go to the court. Because you know that, like the brother said, has been written by for them against you. So now the bill is passed all over again. Because that also has the stand work. You cannot suspend him. You cannot take his secondary away from him while he's investigating. So that also that may rape or beat a black person, he can continue to work until his time in court is heard.
The black man could be locked up. He'll be locked up the whole time.
That's due process in their eyes. So we have to look from all standpoints. When we're talking about a jury, we got to become part of a jury. They always the jury of peers, and we're the jury of their peers. Yeah. So how do you expect to get victory out of that? And we constantly saying media all over the world, the man spent 35, 40 years in prison for crime he did, and then you got some master around as if he did him good job justice and give him money what his lifetime sitting with him. See, he's mentally down. If you're going to somebody to deal, which if you do, I believe you have to push him for it. But I think that maybe we need to rehabilitate him and not put him in over 35 days to mentally damage him with a closed door. He's by himself. But to bring him out and give him help. We got schools now. Kids have been raped and everything else. You're trying to teach them. They don't want to hear that. They need help. Why don't we do this? I bet you normally middle school say, hey, teachers, why don't you first hour go to class, the second hour stop and start having a counseling session? How's your day? What's happening? I know somebody had a problem. You weekend and let teach them the issue because they tell you somebody has been raped. This is going to open up somebody that may have had the same thing. Now you let them vent and get it out. They can learn. This is what we're going to do.
We have a call 314, which is started by Dr. Marty Casey. 4 minutes, 3 times a day, time to reflect. In color, whatever they desire to do. And then when one period, when they right after lunch, I know they kind of round up, we get 15 minutes just kind of like saw it out. And they have access to me to share whatever issues they may have, maybe. And that started in my class.
Do you see the difference?
Can we do this? It's time to break, and I want you to come back and what it was. I want you to get your point. Can you close for this second break? Yes, ma'am.
Oh, my goodness. As you listen to the Positive Junior Show, ATZ 6. Keep it on.
Quit playing!
Now, everybody holler, can't be playing. Can't play. So, brothers, sisters, keep patient. We won't be long at all, but we're going to be talking about, because this is the reason you got these brothers on, and this brother, one segment, he get one segment. But you can see segments, we're not even cutting these things. If I could just in something, that's important. A lot of them we say snitch, but I think they understand what snitch is. Snitch is something that if me and speak, and we reach to each other, and something happens, clack and phone, you know, tell them, the snitch called what? So
Yes, sir.
How did that bring it full circle?
Yes, sir.
I wouldn't even know, but wouldn't know because you got caught. That's the thing that they're doing. Innocent people, your son and your nephews, but you should no reason. And if you take the position of snitching, because a baby sitting on the porch, or she's running gym rope, whatever she was doing, and all of a sudden she shot, and you don't damn house. I'm gonna tell you too many times. They haul now called up. Somebody did something. That's my baby, and I see them because I got called over the years. I know you've got called over the years. I know you got called over the years. So Secretary, you got called over the years. I know every next person don't tell what happened. They all the same right then because it's their daughter, it's their son,
That's right.
it's their niece, it's their nephew, it's their next door neighbor, it's someone that's attached to them, so they feel that. So
You're right.
that's a different problem, because somebody, I'm just examples, and I'll be with either jump and help, and we'll do a black business too. But you mean tell me if we said we was gonna rob a bank, we not. And I got caught, and I turned around and say, so Sarah helping the whole thing. She told me we hit this bank, and she don't want me young workers day. And what to say like that's referred to snitching. That's something totally different. For someone of his own, somebody's supposed to drive down the street and just start saying and shoot your mother. But you sit up tell me that you don't tell nobody that happened. You're damn, you're a real damn liar. You're a damn liar. You somebody say that happened to your mother, your sister, daughter, your father. That's your father. That's your daddy. You love daddy. And people get now. He shot at too late. That's from some no innocence. You talk out of the gym. Somebody ain't some common sense because by nature it's gonna have to be yours, and you got good relationships, or you so tired of them that you don't for that. I'm gonna leave that alone.
The crazy thing is, the clip word for what we call it is desensitization.
Okay.
Desensitization is that when you see the level of crimes, homicides, it's not your reality at that moment. You don't really care. But as I heard you say over the years, counting the number of times your son or your daughter, family become victimized, you want the whole world to stop.
Yes, sir.
Aid you and adhere to whatever your concerns are.
Yes.
But if it's somebody else's problem,
Yeah, you don't feel it.
you don't get involved.
No.
That's just dangerous. That's dangerous for our community. In my position, because these citizens don't even care. We heard him. We want to know what time the Rams gonna play.
Yeah.
But you have to realize too that what we when someone who quote unquote become informant, their name is in record. And I've seen names on Facebook in people's churches listing informants. And I'm not sure if they list the address. I might be wrong, but I know they put that person's name there. Many of our young men do not feel comfortable, or people do not feel comfortable telling the cops, yes, this is what I saw. They know their name is going to go in that police report as an informant.
But you know what I'm saying?
What they do with it now is that they don't necessarily put them anymore. To redact your name in a report. In certain cases, I know for sure, they might use you as, person A, person B. Give you an unidentified name or something like that. Because I give you an example, we ran across an issue, a dope dealer, and the kid and the dog ended up killing another one. And they put us they changed the name. What we did was that when we got to testify, we were behind the curtain, stuff like this. They use creative ways of doing it now. Because they know the problems they have with people for and tell other people. So, it's a bit more class now. It's not like it used to be. And this is some of the things that I think we need to be better organized. We're talking law enforcement, admin, to people who want to feel comfortable and know they're protected.
So no, the police department in St. Louis County, St. Louis, literally just in 2021, got a young man's name in a paper that and all of his friends. He's a student. I mean, no,
they can be legally responsible for that.
Don't know about that. And that's why it's so you got brothers like Shireff and some others. It's held the for years. So it was supposed to be inspired to 2 or 3 years ago. Get taken. Other brothers and sisters, there's a black police out there. But you got so many of them are so afraid of white police. The fraternal order, they put you 2 different areas. If it's your mama, you give a damn about your ain't being aware. So you got to have, you sometimes recover from your results. You have hope. If it's your son, I know just listen to all this stuff, but they wind up getting shot, and they get position about it's some paperwork. You don't think like that because in nature, you see, my son didn't do anything. He's on the same time to go back with brothers. Black and come black the way they're supposed to be. They understand you did something to Miss Johnson, who's been in this community, and she's 80 years old, and you think we're going to write this off, and I think we're going to write it off. And I give a damn who do it. Or somebody in that family, she went and did shot and we up in the house, beat them just like she was right out. Something we take is why they come to ask for the accused. All these churches, the United States of America says, oh, here's our churches. And that's the question, the one, this is our church. Ask your hat, what you say, who fight, the road to take, and start to them, or even fight. Because there's some day you get it, responsibility.
That's the Tahiti street patrol.
No street patrol is a problem.
We go out there and we go directly to those gangbangers and say, "You doing it?"
When we come back on the air, if you mind, I just got to time for it to come back and go on off there. But this is the first. I thank you so much. You still have to get my share, like the other thing. We get more. So, I don't say.
The next 17 minutes. Go back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you for tuning in to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show. Welcome back. Oh, tag friend, bring me in. All right, welcome back, guys. We're here.
Thank you.
It's a great show.
But don't play like you got all this stuff. Welcome back to my friend. I'm gonna let you get it off because we on the air, we live. But I'm just saying, you on there like you got. Look, I said, welcome back and tag friend. Yeah, she doing, but you know you're nobody like.
Yes, sir.
Shahid. Masculinity on board. Your name, okay, Shahid.
Okay. So what I want to do is bring back because I look on before we went off the air.
Yes.
You were the secretary, brother, jump in here, but I don't know if I finish it. Just going to say and then flip it to brother Jomo. What we at? I want to do this here.
You know, I want to go back because I'm testing very good with Brother Shireff. You know, I mentioned how we're talking about this, right? And how our community don't feel comfortable sharing what they see sometimes because they might end up an informant in paperwork, which could get shared to social media, which could lead to retaliation and kind of thing. Brother Shireff said something that I didn't even know was taking place. Brother Shireff, if you can just visit what I said, kind of share what you had shared with us.
I was saying they have new innovative way of working with people who want to come forth and as a witness when crime is being committed, know that they use and redact your information off of police as well as they may use ways of not having you directly on a witness stand, but you may be a witness. They might are able to tell what happened. There are certain elements that they use when they want especially when they want or have a big case they really want to resolve or dissolve. They use those type of methods. Get people to come forward. But again, I think it's important for us to stand for this right and come up with something. Because again, I'm just wondering if a white guy came to our community and shot and you saw him, would you snitch on him? Would you saying snitch on him?
That's a great point. I also want to add that he shared with, they might say person A or person B or person number two versus using their name. And I think that's key and important because when you do that, it leaves less of a chance for that individual's name to be put out on social media or for someone to identify who has actually came forward and report this crime.
And what they do is they actually record an attorney who needs their assistant to make sure that happens. See, sometimes we got to take control of that situation. And even when you deal with the attorney that you hire, what I can't understand is we let them tell us certain things, but we don't understand that you pay for them. So when you want them to say certain things and stand, when you want them to speak, you tell them what you want to say. Hey, you pay them, why not? They have to do what you ask them to.
I just want to say, as Dr. King would say, and we holiday, birthday just passed. If you don't stand for something, you don't. This is how we go. Juvenile on dumb things. Keeping it real. On dumb things, first matters. When it comes to taking real information and people, we be cowardly. We don't respond anymore. And why you see that strength. So just I put it in our community, and people else will believe. Well, whoever's bird out there, they can deal with Brother John, they got to deal with Sheep, they got to deal with Beef. I got 50 brothers behind. They're gonna be less likely to retaliate because this brother here. And so I'm saying we have all these social organizations out here. If we were that's when we made at Sean High School. We get civic organizations. Went about 50 different communities. But that would inspire them to do this. Which I think must be that we can't singularly do this by ourselves. This is a tall task. But you got churches on their corner. So you're doing 3 or 5 churches in 1 year. So imagine if everybody just did a little bit. So I'll quote the forum called Everybody Know By Something. You Google that. Everybody, somebody do what everybody had to do, but nobody did what it should have done. Sometimes nothing got done. Everybody knows that. Everybody just did a little bit. And another thing is we can't forget economics. Like economics. Support one of us should have jobs. If they had employment, and be on the streets like they work. We talk during the break from the date now. People don't do anything. They don't know how to shine shoes. They don't know how to work hard. Everybody drives a car. Every aspect of the car is different. You just work on you can work on the car. You just work on the tires. When you get the train, when they open, know how to go out do for themselves. Then you do the domestic violence.
I think also you got to know it's yours.
Very good point.
For years, people have said, I haven't been out here long. So you got a few naysayers and always drop something. But I always thought that's my daughter that I was doing. I don't care what it was. I couldn't say it was John. I said it was Little. I would say, I think, what's my husband's name? Anthony. If she was one nephew, John Shahid, Shahid. I was confusing things because it didn't move up. If you say around Junior, then you really just for him. Right. If you start that's the body how Shahid, Mike Junior. What you'll get? You won't just bob just because counts. You get involved even today. I talked around twice that. Never gonna be 1 or 2 days by not touching base with each other. But I say this. Then you don't have to discuss. If you're all this about come on, you're not gonna. You got to have one you want.
That's right.
It's your daughter. There anybody out there and anybody listening. Everybody know this in jail. Talk crazy like that about him. Matter of fact, which is he gonna dump in that day? Because you know with somebody's kid, my certainly not people stuck at no business. But somebody let you cross. You done cross damn line, food your sister and went and beat up. I've heard this kind of stuff. I promise you, you don't get in jail. Because no, anything you've been in jail, you don't know what they do. But you're not for the point though. So it's important looking at what the jail people did. She in the position, his son got killed, 30 years old, and guess what? Come out, I have time for this. Sister, she called Pepper, and she paid this November. She wasn't this day. You get the position.
But hey, look at all of these just senseless murders. Tyrone Thompson. I found his murder. And that's been maybe 4 years ago. But something else we don't talk about. All these unsolved crimes and people who committed murders and crimes. What's out there on the street?
Yeah.
So at some point, we're going to be honest. You know,
And I'll tell you what about them brothers. And I don't put it like this, but I'm going to go to all the wars because they don't have street credibility. But I didn't really temple church. I'll give you a quick version. They was dealing with a group of young brothers and sisters. So I listened to them about half hour while. I said, I'm pretty what y'all doing. Brothers, they over Hallmark and Wabba. They just took the brother sheet. I said, well, how can y'all know? They said, because they all got guns. I said, damn, that's what we get. No, here it goes. I don't know how to put the brothers' names. They're supposed to be bowed there. Oh, my father, I was on the witness line, a lot my witness. Get out good. There comes him, Anthony. Then I heard Civil up with wheelchair with brother. He said, you've been looking for you to know this brother that was in the woods then. Within 15 minutes, I probably about half brother. And they not like everybody had guns. They had guns all they had. They're real out there. Cannon. Real cannon. The time I called the brother Shireff. I said, Shireff, come on over while I'm at. Shireff came up and he after the bed. He said, Shahid, not coming over. I said, do a favor. Don't let me ever hear them talk down to the street or trying to stop murders. These girls got cookies, or they do jumpers. So you can't lay out in the street because not no street material. They're going to killed. That's not one. But at this point, after let me tell you, I'm going to find out did you say, I don't think I'm going to go there. The problem is, if one kill somebody, that's going to tell you about shit. Let's talk to they respect that. You know, they don't look for, I know you're going to do this. I know you am, so I go over and I hope that. You know, when we in the jail, y'all in the jail with me. We have to talk about that. You can't talk about putting foot down playing because they won't respect you talk like that. So at some point, and bro, you got to understand, this is your community. Either you care about grandmother and what about her life, or ain't about it.
So, even with my son's situation, it was yes. And even though they get one guy, he still opened his mouth as the other two with him down the street. But if the time was along those two too, and me, I'm just helping people because now since I've got that dilemma, I'm able to go people going through the dilemma and not being able to empathize with you, but I feel pain be live them, and I'm in business to go out and talk to these people, get them focused on, see if we can at the same time you keep your dignity and sanity because you have to do. You retaliate, you're gonna be in jail, your children gonna be out with the wolves. So decision are you gonna make? I mean, certainly still can. How is that gonna affect his and my grid? And what good that for me to be gone? And how can I believe me to do?
Honestly, because I said, find the call, not knowing that I call a shot shooting, and some pop being this came to tell. And hell peace, and we were there because now with I don't care who. If you get a problem, I'm coming. I ain't gonna talk about you. If you come, I'm coming. But the people that you get a call and then you pull on that and you see other stuff. People gotta start understanding wheels, and that brings so much ability. You going to just saying, to say our son, my Tyrone Thompson, brother in the community and family quality building group. That's much enough people. She out two son and grandson. Son and grandson. You know, when we don't talk that, we were more about some because if sometimes 5 years you really talking about shit. Watch your ass, but you anyway, it ain't gonna help you in it.
That's the thing gets to me when they say that. They're not helping themselves or their family that has been affected. So they have to change their perception. That's again why I'm looking at getting these guys together so we can talk about things with other differences and worry, these brothers and all the other groups that you refer to. But we decided that when the summer hits, we're going to something about working together. But I'm going to go to the old school. You used to like, you had to play, this stop things like that. And don't mean that nothing would. We're going to let the kids or change it now.
You can shot steady photo. Those some stars that are so much and big they took when they were that something in the mall. Create up to from my people about my God. You get in about time.
And see, picture understand. After I went to summer, I sang was soon for the industry. No, can't early hang. He stood to go in, shout. I want to go in the clinical or nurse. And they started to speak the case and just last week. So I can't internship with them.
Right.
Of course.
No, I did.
Well, one problem too is you got something really dedicated to you guys. Just one who knows that I ain't gonna make it not big family, and this ain't the deal. But still, they can point that whole 9%. You know.
I want to say this too, because all that I have him to build having a young boys, but they just they teach for me. I know they roles and they young and they're in place. People just get cakes, but then I say they want. If you have people in the same place, they'll do another job with bring food goes. But Ken Morris at the village and ritual with green perspective. They're going to do our job. It's just that kind of resource, but in my community, in my systems, way more than others. We have to develop to desire to live and talk here. How can show up as and then the mother and the against the father. But we need to not to compare. Parents make the other way, whether it's other father, never compare with them, not gonna happen at you. And so it's taken back from mother. Now they fight. And it's they erase them and this or not about removing some situation. My father has I know when I was 101 charities to an back base, right?
And their family.
If I'm gonna the half we to reach them. And I reach all I'm not need for change.
We all since imagine the 3,000 because they're living single no snapshot program like nationally. Sharing this information, you know what I'm saying? There are resources, there are no resources classified, there are no resources, so many Bombay, Boeski, minority report. We're not doing minority reports. Sometimes we see SEO, news and all the but there's nothing that's actually not resources. This is where the resources.
Okay. So, yeah, but that's what I want to do is something special. So, other groups try to do it. Rather be asked a question. There's nobody these groups. How these groups tend to everybody. You know what I'm saying? I hear a certain names that they just don't let on. That's what I'm talking about. But you brothers like, especially like I hear the little pit. I was talking about little pit and the Hassan's reef. Those people all catch what they You get north of who you need north of brother who really old petty. Man, certain brothers, next day, I do okay doing schools. The biggest players they are on death row. Take it out. You got certain brothers out dealing with talk about and stuff. It sound good because y'all, if the bottom is a real pet, comes and brings everybody to get down. Respect this brother.
We see more.
We got quad, all the groups you have one spiritual. And with general, I think he can just power. He can't come, whatever name, this can't be an area. Anthony he can't be a Ajuma Muhammad. But you have a brother who is both. Hope I understand that street like Lorenzo. I'm telling you. And I've done everybody heard from I know I've been around here. There are so much this million and he's treasured that we have to. And some brothers and brothers and sisters really tap most of all these people. So that's it.
One of the things that I noticed being in the stuff about Shahid and brothers, you don't got a lot of view through their window now. See much more. And one of the things that I really have been attention to is how the negative comes out of that television 510. And what happened is that even the commercials, you see the Haitians and I had whatever was always with family. But you never see a black family. I mean black family. You know, the natural skin, natural hair, and the natural beauty of our people in a family setting. So I think that sometimes one thing or another, we need to look at when media stop doing all that negative stuff. We just have people in positive roles. You know, we need to open the door and give out information where they can go and do what you're saying. About go get the job. See, I think we have to command that community. I mean, new because you know, not only they can continuously show they continuously show St. Louis. St. Louis. County they out and candy and beauty of the kids in the yard, but they never talk about positive. We don't need positive second. We leave two views that are doing it.
I say when the man saved a house when he saved and he he's just spending by young so GPA 1
They always do that. That's no purpose of fair neglect recept.
We reject one love.
That long is before it's an effort because they show them and they have this history. I mean, his course got the opinion already chosen him.
I read was no, I need to have some because the deception is image of him, so he right. But maybe I'm just have to show the deception of right.
But you go, make you look, you know, you
they'll show Africa.
Yeah.
Which is 3 times the size of the United States, but the whole continent.
And that's why you know.
So I don't want to. You're president.
How long ago? 2010. So we got.
I would like to know how he has to look at that.
To how this is the same with Connors, the government was don't have even 10 because when they had the Fed is real. Because remember, you took 100 youth, people just might have about 5, 6 years. You know, they all did it. They understood it was doing for your hurt and made sure change. You know what I want that down the board. You know, dealing with the question any than they find. I always come out and honestly tell you things. Was still trying. That boy, the person after the Trump said, man, why treat people like some people? We don't get on them. But that brother, but out was so third book for 90 came home. Every time another banana, it was the future of the Mississippi. We do the same people. And how the Lord makes their casket open. I'm on the road to see what type of people. These are the people we do. And they want to be white. The devil say he was thinking he don't get the same people we dealing with. The same people that a person was doing for him. They got business, brother. I saw it. I work. They was fickle eyes out. His brother with his youth. They did not him his veteran. Nickel leaf and everything. When the WCP, BC, and quite a few other came out to put on support event that paid his bills and stuff. He'd been read all up.
See, that's a true story too. That's fine. Real story.
And they can Philip and then the G what he was told he got there. He's showing this a people. You talking about the same? He's the same type people that just worse. Yes,
sir. 22 minutes. Go live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, welcome back to St. Louis. You're listening to the show. Make a friend and bring in that friend.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. Good morning, sister. We got Chief Chief here and giving us the history of the police social for all this. Is it 100?
It's Belvedere, Missouri. So you got 100 chief police, all this.
It's 10 back chief.
We're maybe 15. Right within the mainly in the northern area and maybe in the city.
Hopefully, a lot of people are going to bring trust back into with some of those officers, those chief people, y'all, because they need to understand this. They talking OJ something. When you can go know what you got to y'all, and the only person going to receive you is black people. I'm having to use it like they're going to whoop you because you're a good spike. But sometimes what you do to you, you know, that police association something. You talk about the whole piece. I'll just build on another too. I watch Jim Dick, fixed word. What's that name? Roy Brandt, and Big Dude and J.W. Martin. They wind up saying after. Because of the police, a lot of us and they come back here, they talk to them, some of these other groups come back and see where grew up. But on the point out down here, because the young man, the police department had something to do with it. They had a lot to do because they come from what they want They told me we got down here Wilson, but they will come. They have to go there. Boo, why MT's Wilson? Certain words he problems when he's trying to speak. He turned off the heat he stuck that stuttering and she told him because he liked Wilson. It helped come down whether he had nerve or anything, just do a Wilson. He was Wilson at her. He was studying. Because she already told him, down, do and don't. They said, you would go down to the where you go, get off the side because you're not around it. But now they walk outside, do that. So why did you get this? That's what was coming. Nobody talked about the day of pressure. He's a white girl, look so fresh, he eats a wolf. That's a damn lie. So they made me, they went through with 4 she should have. Ain't police department was workers. How they covered that up. So you have to play chief for Shireff and the job to do. I know it's supposed to be badly, and I say all of it. I'm continuing to say, if I catch you on something, I'm going to shoot. I'm going to take it as well. Promise whichever you want to take it. But sometimes I hear a couple and say, they blow my house. Matter of fact, you get on them and say, how come you so damn long to get us? So people have to on here.
Thank you, Brother Shahid. I listen to you, Brother Shireff, Sister Felicia. We're talking about systemic racism. And systemic racism is not anywhere. It's profitable. Look at all the people, the judges, the lawyers, the court system that benefit from free black labor once, citizens get arrested and get sentenced and go to jail. So systemic racism is not going anywhere. I want to focus on solutions, okay? Because we can talk about systemic racism to the cows come home. White folks are not going to change. Ain't no way. It ain't going to happen. It's too profitable. Crime does pay. It just don't pay us. Okay. But we got to go back to what our grandmother and grandfather used to do. We used to have family dinner. Mm-hmm. See, you didn't have the option not to go to church. You had to go to church. Yes. Well, no option.
Yes, sir.
Grandma wake up and say, Brother Shireff, do you feel like going to church? You had to go.
Yes.
Same thing with moms.
3-4 days.
You could pick and choose when you was going to eat dinner. Come on here, boys. Let's eat.
Right.
So, when we complain about the school system not teaching black history and black culture, how come we not doing it in the homes? Yes. How come we not doing it in the church? But Shireff, I heard you say earlier about self-love. We got to learn how to see. We got to learn how to love one another. Mm-hmm. To see beauty in another black man and a black woman and stop referring to each other as an N-word. If you see somebody as an N-word, you don't see no value in that person. So you can take their life and not think nothing about it because he was just another N.
Another B, another
B,
another whore.
And social media now has socialized the B word, has socialized the N word,
and the whore,
word, and the rap industry has popularized this. I see them as the greatest impediment to our progress.
No secret.
These so-called rappers out here that talk about snitching, get stitches, and all this old stupid stuff. They'll put anything on wax just to gain popularity. But it's detrimental emotionally, socially, and psychologically to our community because our community inherit this way of thinking. And so it stops us from, when we see wrongdoings in our community, it stops us from saying anything. Because we don't want to be ostracized. Mm-hmm. We don't want to take a stand of leadership and report these ill deeds in our community. Mm-hmm. So my thing is, Shahid, going back to the basics. Establishing prayer back in the home. Yes. Don't wait for the schools. Do it in your own home. Fathers, step up to the plate. 1 in 4 black men, according to statistics, are going to spend time in jail, prison, or on probation. Yeah. End up dead. And as long as you've been doing it, as long as I've been doing this work, I get called all the time. We go to at least 10, 15 funerals every year. Young black boys who just didn't want to listen. Yeah. And most of them didn't have a father at home. That hurts me, Brother Shireff. Yes. Didn't have a father at home. Took 2 people to tango. That's something we haven't really talked about. We got to get our courtship process the way 2 people get married nowadays. Most of the time in the black community, I'm just keeping it real, 2 people get in the moment, then they feel they're going to have sex, and 9 months later, here comes the Johnny. But what happened to the premarital counseling? What about understanding human dynamics, what you're about to embark upon when you deal with the opposite sex, this relationship, and then sooner or later bring a child into the world? So we're not equipped. So we go into a relationship that we don't understand because we don't understand